Todd! Move up! Watch out!
Sorry, Todd. Was not your day. Your chances of survival are not too hot. I guess I gave you a warm welcome. Some people say I'm a little fiery. Okay, hi there. This will be the last part of my Let's Play of The Last of Us Part 2. Damn, that was difficult to say. I'll do it a little bit differently than I usually do it. First of all, face cam, because that's a new thing I'm trying out. So far, it worked super well on the last campfire. But for The Last of Us Part 2, so far, it's been a disaster. So we'll see how far I get. So it's unusual because I did the playthrough of the last part 3 times now. And there was always something going wrong. Either the recording was corrupted, stopped in the middle, or the audio was off. Because I have a weird mic issue and I don't know yet what it is. Sometimes it cuts out. Clips out for half a second and then it's back again, but of course the way I talk, that doesn't allow for much, so you lose a lot of words and stuff like that. And this time it was really, you couldn't listen to it really. So what I do now is I did a recording of the playthrough, and I will watch that now and I will comment. So that'll be the thing. I will try this out. This won't be something I will do from now on. But I want to finish this. I mean, as of now, this last part of The Last of Us Part 2 Let's Play is basically my Abby. I just want to kill it. I want to be done with it. You know, so I'm Ellie. The part is Abby. And this has to stop. This has to stop. And I hope we can do this. I hope this works. I'm super scared. Yeah, I also have to make sure that I speak into the mic and not like, you know, so the audio is like off again. Yeah, let's see how this works. I'm super scared to do this again because at some point, like, it's the last episode. It's not even halfway through and then, yeah, I will just never finish it. This is the last episode. It's like sunken cost fallacy. I know I don't have to do this. No one watches this Let's Play anyway, but I want to finish this. Okay, so let's start.
How would she get up to the street from here?
So I really like that Ellie looks like shit. Because it shows she's so relentless, she doesn't even care about herself anymore. I mean, girl, put on some sunscreen, you know? She looks horrible. She's lost a lot of weight. So she's clearly not in a healthy headspace. But that was obvious because she left Dina, which I think was the #1 sign. She left Dina and JJ, who she adored, who she loved so much. And that was the most obvious sign that this is not a healthy thing, this is not a good thing. The other sign is that it's not a healthy or good thing is that revenge killing is not a healthy or good thing. That's just how it is. So yeah.
This looks promising.
I'm really not on par with her. Like, I wouldn't have done this. But then again, if I would have been Ellie, this game would have been very boring. Also, I would have been dead by now. Like, pretty much 2 seconds after the start of the zombie-infected apocalypse, I would have died. So yeah, missed that jump there. Fun times. I just wonder what drives people like Ellie, because I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that get driven by hate, you know, that have some need to destroy. But Personally, for me, it's unthinkable to put so much energy into it. Wonder what happened to that person. First I thought they just fell down, but then the bag wouldn't maybe not lie like that. We'll never know. Spoiler alert, we'll never know what happens to that anonymous skeleton that gives us some ammo. I also wonder, without Tommy, if she
Here we go.
at some point still would have left Dina and went to find Abby. Whether Tommy is the main reason she's doing this now, or whether he was just an accelerator for this decision.
Okay.
I mean, could he have changed it by just saying, it's good that you don't go after her. We're done with this. We lost too much. And now we have to live our lives. Maybe it would have helped her, actually. We'll never know.
Now what? Mesa Bluff. I'm here. And Santa Barbara proper is...
Yeah, also, what I think is kind of a shame, and I noticed that later on, not on the first playthrough, they have this amazing map section, this kind of open world section on day 1, Seattle with Dina and Ellie, and they never do that ever again. It's like one and done, and then it's over, you know, and it's such a shame because, I mean, obviously the game, it's like, you know, making you feel like, oh, this will be fun, and after that first day, I mean, you have no fun. The characters don't have fun anymore. It's not fun exploring. It's all really just very hate-filled and scary and tense, you know, and you get followed and you follow. So maybe it was a way of Naughty Dog to be like, yeah, we'll make them think that this is how the game will be for the entirety, and then we'll change it up. But it's still a bit weird that they introduce this map and everything, because it is fun. I really like that section, and then they completely abandon it for the rest of the game. It feels a little bit disjointed, to be quite honest. I mean, it would have made sense, for example, if we would have played as Dina, because then they could have said, well, this is how Dina sees the world. It's more fun for her, you know, because she's more upbeat than Ellie or Abby. But because we still play as Ellie, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. Oh, sorry. Really? I know I told you I'd wait for you here, but it's not safe. Rattlers are all through these woods. I can't risk getting chained up again. I'll be in that place where I told you that ping pong ball joke. I miss your laugh. Hope you got out okay. I wonder about the ping pong joke. I am a stickler, not a stickler. I'm a super fan of alluding to jokes without telling them, or having, you know, the last line of a joke in a dialogue. Like when you happen upon a dialogue and you only hear the punchline and everyone's laughing, but you don't hear the beginning of the joke. I don't know why, but it makes me so gleeful. It always feels like an art in itself, because you have to know how a joke is constructed and how a punchline in general is constructed. So it's you know, a skill in itself to write a good punchline without the joke, because it has to be funny as well. You know, it can't be not. It has to be at a certain, like, even if you just hear the punchline, it has to be like, ah. So I know that there are stalkers. That's why I'm acting the fool right now, or Ellie is acting the fool, because yeah, there's movement, but because they see you very easily in this section. It's very well done, because at the beginning you just see the runner, and they're so hidden in the grass and behind the bushes, but they will see you and notice you very early on. There's one. Those assholes. And I think I now got discovered. No, didn't. Oh, the music. It's so good the way the music helps with the tension. It's a great soundtrack. Waiting for the clicker to make it easy for me to just blast them into nothing. For a split second, apparently, I thought, well, do I stealth it? And then I thought, no, I'm not going to risk it.
Back to it.
What I like, there's so many gameplay decisions by Naughty Dog that make playing this game really fun. For example, that the music, I mean, it's not new. Like, Naughty Dog does a lot of things that other games as well do. I don't want to be like, oh, everything they do is so unique, you know? Like an Apple stand. But it's still nice how they combine it, and it makes for very fluid gameplay. So, for example, that whenever an enemy section is done, like you killed the last enemy, the character usually will say something, and or the music gets like toned down, like it stops. And that's quite nice, so you know, oh, okay, I don't have to be... Because this game is so tense, I think if it didn't have that, it would be exhausting. Because there's very long sections, especially with Ellie, where you have floods and floods and floods of enemies. It's weirdly not as many with Abby, because she has from my point of view, she has a more diverse storyline and like section line, scene line. There's more different things you do with Abby than with Ellie. With Ellie, it's a lot of big section with enemies, and you can stealth or fight through. And with Abby, it's a lot more like action sequences, like you know from Uncharted. Yeah. Just weird, like, that they didn't... I don't know, sometimes I wonder why Ellie's adventure is a bit samey when it comes to the gameplay. Just with different sections and different looks, but not really with stuff like the Red King. Although she does have a bloater. But I don't know, Abby's, for some reason, maybe it's because it's not as long, I feel like. But Abby's sections feel more entertaining than Ellie's. That's a booty. Damn, that's a booty. Also, where did that fall out of? Where did that come from? That's a naked clicker. Let's not think about that for too long. It will not lead you to healthy places.
Hope I can cut through here.
It's beautiful houses, by the way. Or a beautiful house. But really for rich people, right? I know, it's so big and so beautiful. I doubt that this is a house. Is this a green cyclops? With the arms and the head and the one eye? I don't know. Is that supposed to be something that you should know? Oh, reading. CBB 73. The latest in a long line of synthetic warriors, the CBB-73 was designed to fight battles deemed too dangerous or cruel for humans. But when the Future Alliance captured one on Titan, their scientists used it to test their latest AI ethics technology. Now a trusted ally, CBB is willing to take point on all of the Future Alliance's dangerous missions, always reminding them, I'm reliable and expendable. But in times of high tension, CBB struggles not to slip back into its original function as a killing machine! Neutral hero, by the way. There you go. Robots are really not my thing. Like, I'm a horror fan and science fiction horror fan especially. But bad robots. It's a different thing with androids because so much different with androids because you have the whole are they human or not. But the robot, you know, without really being human or having human characteristics and, you know, a super brain or whatever. Big machines can kill you, strong machines can kill you, but I like more supernatural or philosophical questions with my horror. And androids do that. But also I love monsters. Like give me all the monsters. Give me demons, give me monsters, give me fae. Give them all. That's why I love The Last of Us, because the infected are such a unique design. This is me trying to not get recognized and getting recognized instantly. But you can skip this whole thing. There's a workbench, but I don't need it. But now I'm thinking I need it, and now we'll do something very stupid. Because the last time I just sat there and watched. But this time I accidentally got in a spot where I can't really get out. Doesn't look like it, but I can't. Damn. That was not smart. That was me shooting myself in the foot. I'm thinking of going back. And then I'm not. No, not doing it. It's so weird watching myself and commenting how I play. Not while I'm playing, but, you know, in hindsight. And it is 2020. Now I know why I shouldn't have done that.
Downhill. 24, 25 constants.
I don't know why Naughty Dog did this entry. It's basically nothing. It's so weird. Yeah, we read Abby's note. Thanks, past Hula. Maybe it's because what Naughty Dog does very well is creating expectations and then subverting them in a lot of scenes. I will come back to that later on. But no, I don't even have to. When we play as Ellie and Lev and are on that avenue, you can collect so much stuff even after you cleared the infected house. When you're in the actual house where the fireflies lived, you have so much stuff to collect. And that makes you think, well, I will continue playing as Abby. But then, you know, you don't. There's this big cutscene and then you cut to Ellie. And that is so interesting that they do that quite often. That you think, oh, you know, I can use all this. I get all this ammo. Oh my god, what's going to happen? And then it's a cutscene and the next chapter. I think that's really smart that they play with your expectations. They do that a lot with different things also. Like the elevators. Because of the elevator scene from the first movie, where you jump down and then at some point you want to help Ellie up. And you help her up, and then the whole thing crashes down, resulting in one of the most tense scenes in the entire game in the basement of the hotel. Because of that, they have so many elevator scenes in this game, and nothing happens, not once. but you're always like, ooh. And that is so smart. I think that's really, really smart game design to up the tension and to surprise you, even if it's small things. Oh, it's so pretty how she sits in the middle of the flowers. Something I also wanted to talk about. Now that I don't have to play, I don't have moments where I'm like super, oh, I'm tense, I need to concentrate. So sorry for like rambling on, but no one watched this anyway, so I can say whatever I want. Like if I have secrets no one else should know, I can put that in this let's play and they will be safe forever. One of the things that a lot of people discussed that I watched play this game is the order, or that they said it could have been 2 games, like one playing as Ellie and one playing as Abby. I don't agree. I think the switch is very well done. And it's like with the first game, when you suddenly are playing as Ellie, it's a good way to kind of put yourself in someone else's shoes with different skills and a different handling and a different personality, to be quite honest. Sorry. What I would say, though, that the order of how we play, with Ellie dominating the first half and then Abby dominating the second half, I'm not quite sure whether this was the most effective when it comes to the emotional impact of the story and also the overall message, because one of the biggest messages, I think, that put a pin on it, okay?
Abby. I found you.
See? We got a live one.
This bitch is fucked up. We'd be lucky if she lasts a month. Can we please just say we're done for the day?
Yeah, get that thing down. Let's reset the trash.
Really, man? I mean, is she even worth the trip back? It's not like...
Hey, get you?
No. I'm good. Something funny?
Looks like you shit your pants.
Fuck you say?
Oh, bitch.
Oh, you like funny, huh? Get up.
Come on.
Get up.
We don't need
No,
this.
man, she's fucked up anyway, man. Come on. No, it's funny, right? It's funny.
Serious?
Come on. Laugh.
Oh, God damn it! Wait. You said Abby. You're looking for an Abby, right? We picked one up a couple months ago.
Yeah, sure.
No, big girl. Blonde. Arms like mine. She had a scrawny kid with cuts by his mouth. Yeah, that's her. You let me go. I'll tell you where she is. Get to her before that infection takes over.
Talk.
She's in a holding cell in our camp.
Where's that?
Head that way till you hit the railroad track. That'll lead you to a resort. We keep them in the tall, round building. I swear.
Why did he think that she would keep him alive? From his point of view, she's infected. She's nothing to lose. I mean, maybe that's why he thought. Also, she's so badass. She's like Carol. She did this whole, you know, you're such a little pussy or whatever she said, just to rile him up, so he might give her a chance to exploit his weakness. Smart, dangerous cookie, Ellie.
Tall, round building.
Yeah, you could have showered while you were doing that.
Fuck.
Over here! Aim for his leg!
We'll go back.
Is that a gun? He's got a gun!
Go back! God damn it.
Shit. All right.
Fuck did he get a gun? Tell the others to search the area. Make sure he's the only one that got out.
Just imagine the desperation to rather kill yourself than go back to work camp. Damn. So, I think an order where we play as Abby earlier than we initially do would have been amazing. I think if we would have played as Ellie up until the point before we kill the first friend of Ellie's group, the first person of Ellie's group, maybe after the school, because that guy we don't really have, like, we don't even have an interaction with him as Abby. But I think if at some point between the school and Nora, the game would have cut, and yeah, missing a lot here, sorry. If the game would have cut and we would have switched to Abby, we would have had much more. It's not happening. I did not see that. Nothing happened to the dog. He ran off. The dog ran off. They didn't die. Anyways, if we would have played then as Abby and would have gotten to know Nora, interacted with her, gotten to know Owen and Mel, and, you know, I think it would have hit so much harder to then play as Ellie and go to the aquarium or go to the hospital. And I think, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm so smart, I'm so much smarter than Naughty Dog. They probably had a reason why they didn't do that, but I don't know, I think it would have been such an emotional impact. It was so much more, because as it is, we play as Ellie, we don't have much, we don't know these people. We got a little glimpse of Owen just at the beginning, but that's it. We have no idea who these people are. So when we kill them, or when Ellie kills them, of course, on a moral level, it's like, I don't want her to kill them. But on a personal level, you know, on a, well, do I like them or not? Do I feel for them? It's like, meh, whatever, you know, it's just some other villain on the long road of us killing people. But if we would have first gotten to know them, then I think it would have been so much harder to also understand Ellie. And I think, I don't know, I think it would have made more of a point. For example, just imagine, sorry, I'm burpy. Just imagine playing as Ellie first, then as Abby, up until the point where we save Lev and Yara, and where we return after the WLF attacked the Seraphites on their island. So we just returned from the war zone. Yara has been killed, but Lev survived, fortunately. And so we return through the aquarium to ride off with Mel, Owen, and Alice out to the sunset, and then switch and arrive as Ellie at the aquarium. What that would have done emotionally, because we would have played, you know, as Abby, and then we would have thought, oh, now we're going to meet Ellie, because we cut off maybe when Ellie reached the aquarium. And we'll be like, oh, this is it, this is the final. But then it's not. Ellie meets Owen and Mel, and she realizes, and we realize, oh, it's in the past. You know, I mean, it would have been a bit, you know, probably a daunting task to not make it confusing. But I think the impact and the twist would have been super cool. Because as it is, I think it's kind of a shame. You have to play it through a second time to really get the emotional impact of her killing Owen and Mel, killing Nora. No, the emotional impact for killing Alice was there from the get-go, but all the other people, you know, was like, yeah, okay, so whatever. And then you get to know Nora, and you're like, no! And then, especially when she kills Owen and Mel, it's like, if you know what I mean. So that is a kind of a shame that they did it really, you know, if they did the twist, that they didn't mix it more up. But maybe they thought it would be too complex and too confusing, because, yeah, time skips. It's always, The Walking Dead did it, and at times they didn't do it very well. There's a season where they do it, and it's just, it's a mess. I don't remember which season, but there's a certain season, I think 4 or 5, that was really just a mess. Or 6? I don't know. Speaking of The Walking Dead, because I just compared Ellie to Carol, who she kind of, you know, is. If you want to know about other games that play like this and have the zombie theme, Days Gone is very much, it's a lot of fun. It's not as hard. No, it's not as emotionally demanding. It's much more lighthearted. Well, it's not lighthearted. But because it's not, the main character is quite unlikable. He's really a stereotype. And the story itself is not, it's not as ambitious as The Last of Us Part 2. But the funny thing is, when I played this, at some point I realized this is Daryl Dixon video game fanfiction. This is basically someone who initially had this game idea, was a gigantic Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead fan, and wanted to do this because it totally plays like it. Like if Daryl never would have met the crew, that's, you know, it really feels like it. He even has a best bud who he calls his brother, who's not his brother, but he calls his brother who doesn't have hair, like Mel. So that's, is it Mel? Yeah, Mal. What was it? Merle. I just confused Mel from The Last of Us Part 2, the pregnant lady, and Merle. But yeah, so it's kind of, that's super fun. So Ellie is Carol, and I can't remember the name of the Days Gone character, but he's Daryl. Also, I'm kind of excited for the TV show, the spin-off with Daryl and Carol. I hope they do something new, like not have the exact same structure and narration choices that they had for The Walking Dead, but try something different. That would be cool. Didn't she say at some point already that she hopes, oh, I hope I don't spoil here because I paid attention, that she hopes they didn't kill Abby? That's also this weird thing, you know, on a revenge spree. Like, you have to kill that person? I don't get that. Like, what does it do? I don't know. Also, I play this on easy because I'm a noob. I'm Hula noob. And that's why I get through fairly easily without getting detected. Because I don't think in any other setting that would have worked. I think he would have discovered me in any other setting. Just so you know. That's also why why I have so much ammo. Like, it's ridiculous. I wonder how groups would build in an actual setting of the post-apocalyptic world. Not that I want to experience that. Again, as I said before, I would die immediately. Not even killed by a zombie or infected or whatever. I would just be super scared and slip on the stairs and break my neck or something like that. But in games like this, and also in The Walking Dead, obviously for the entertainment factor, you have extreme groups, you know, you have cannibals, you have weird cults, you have like a whole frat boy situation like the Saviors in The Walking Dead. I don't think, at least I can't imagine that in real life it would be that extreme. I think it would be a lot more like the people in Jackson and the WLF. And not so, you know, such eccentric groups. But I really wonder, especially in games like these, so often it's so many people that just want to kill each other. And I wonder whether that would be really the case in an actual real life situation. Although we are quite horrible as it is, so we're already living in kind of a dystopian society. I don't want to be like, you know, too depressing or cynical here. It's just, you know, if you really think about it, we already have weird systems in place. But no cannibalism so far, as far as I know. I mean, a few cases. But not really, you know, a society that's like surviving on cannibalism. Again, not yet. So I stealth through this because... Oh. Yeah. Saved by the cutscene. I stealth through this to keep at least one dog alive.
Idiot's killer.
Oh, sorry. I thought I already had said that. I thought she already had said that. I'm sorry. But yeah, why would it matter? Like, if she's dead, she's dead. And she probably... These people have work camps. That one person, they killed themselves because it was so horrible there. It would have been enough, you know. God damn it,
Shit.
Let's move!
Oh, God. That looks like a tall, round building. How do I get in there?
I would love to have like a survey at the end of the game that asks you certain questions about Ellie and Abby and the morality of the game, of revenge and stuff, just to know how many people think that Ellie did the right thing. Because the kind of Let's Players I watch, they're against revenge. They're not the most... That's why I watch them, because they're not, you know, those bro-y types. Oh. Hey Rattlers, it's Mackenzie, I'm out, free. My husband died picking your fucking tomatoes. We aren't some lonely stragglers. I will be back with others. Your time is coming. You go, Mackenzie, you show him. Did she... She probably killed that person, right? Well, Whatever you got to do to survive. I mean, that I get. In an actual situation like this, that you kill to survive. But work camps, I don't get that.
Oh.
Why not do the work yourself? It's so rewarding. I mean, I don't have a garden, but I know how tasty it is when you did the work yourself. My grandparents had a garden once, so wouldn't that be really nice? And so much nicer than, you know, having to torture people and
Come on, you can do it.
put them in jail and, I don't know, enslave them.
I can't feel anything.
Fuck that. I promised you might do this to him.
This is such a fucked up hobby.
Bet you wish you didn't try to escape now, don't you, Anthony?
Yeah. Fuck him up. Ha 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 ha. I would like to know how many people think that Ellie rightfully wants revenge on Abby. That they're like, yeah, this is the good thing to do. And how many don't think that. Because I don't have empirical, like I didn't watch that many Let's Plays of this game. And only by my favorite Let's Players who are, you know, not the aggressive types. Damn, he survived. Well, he survived the runner. He didn't survive Ellie. Shot the head right over her head. Sorry, lady. So here's an issue I have with the violent thing. Because Naughty Dog took a lot of pains to include details like having people scream the name of someone who just got killed by you. Or, you know, what we just experienced, that they're like in pain and then they're slowly dying. And you even have cases where people don't get killed by you and then they beg for mercy. But the way the game itself is designed, it doesn't make much of an impact. Because, for example, the people that beg you to spare them, if you do that, they will attack you again. Which I don't think is what would naturally happen. I don't think that everyone you spare would attack you immediately. And wouldn't it be so cool if some attack you but others don't, and then see how many people spare people, you know, to take that risk, to see would you do that? Because I think I would take that risk. Ellie, you're a sick fuck. I mean, look at you. You have killed so many people. So many people. So many people. I think I would take that risk. But because they attack you no matter what you do, it's like, well then, let's just kill them, you know. Because the game literally makes it impossible not to, because they attack you again. And yes, you can stealth through the sections, but there's no reward for it. And I don't mean that it should be easy or whatever. I think in most games where you can choose between killing and not killing, the not killing choice is usually more difficult, even though I don't really know whether that in real life would really be it. Because you can knock out a person without... I think killing someone is actually super hard. Not that I tried, but I figure it is. But at least in games like Dishonored, you have this system where not killing people is hard, but you get a reward by in the next chapter, because the world doesn't get as fucked up when you don't kill as many people. Especially in the first game. I don't know how it was in the second game, because I played there mainly non-violent. And in the first game I tried different things, and in the first game the more people you kill. And not just main characters, but also a lot of minions. The more fucked up the world gets, so you have more rats, you have more infected, and more dangers in all around, and it looks more desolate. And The Last of Us Part 2 doesn't have anything of that. And that would have been quite interesting to be like, well, if you kill a lot of, for example, WLF at the beginning, there will be more of them in the later part of the game. That would have been a cool choice. So it would be like, yes, it's harder to go stealth, to go non-violent or non-killing, but you get something out of it later on by, for example, having fewer enemies than you would have if you killed everyone. That would have been cool. Little cut there, but it's immediately after the workbench. Because I had to replay that section also again. I did it so often, it's unbelievable. Spark Thug. Well, looks like a thug. No, I don't know. He looks like a wrestler. Capable of both absorbing and delivering giant bolts of electricity, this masked enforcer uses power for everything from petty theft and racketeering to high-level assassinations for the new dogs. Once a professional wrestler of some renown, a freak accident after a publicity stunt gone wrong left him with these powerful new abilities and a mind ravaged by constant electrical shocks. His extreme fear of water suggests a potential weakness, though no one has successfully exploited this possibility yet. Neutral villain. Water guns. Super soaker. Done and done. Where was I? Yeah, the game, it's like, violence is bad, don't kill people, but then the crucial moments you don't have a choice. Like the Nora death, which I think is one of the hardest deaths because you have to push the button, but you can't do anything else. You have to push the button, otherwise the game will not continue. So the game is like, yeah, violence is bad, you should kill people, but if you don't, still the same ending, everything's the same, every scene is the same. And I feel like because of that, the impact is not as, you know, it's not, because it's still a game. Like in real life, obviously every life saved is probably a good choice. But this is a game at the end of the day, and they give you so much that makes it fun, the killing also. You know, certain weapons and things you can do. So I think they kind of missed the mark because there's no consequences, negative or positive, to your game style, and they could have done a few things. Also, the song in the background, the Black Angels with Young Man Dead, which is one of the most amazing songs for a soundtrack for the post-apocalyptic world. Because you feel like you are ending the world when you listen to this song, or the world is ending. Love it. I'll post the link in the liner notes. If this ever makes it, who knows, maybe this recording again will fail and I will just, damn, rage quit on the last part of The Last of Us Part 2. Sorry for the hair thing. In real life it's not that annoying, but with a face cam I realized it happens so often. Also I realized I look like a lizard lady. That's something new, I guess. And no one notices. He's in so many sightlines. Like there's so many people on the balconies. No. Maybe they didn't like him. Or maybe he's always sleeping on the job and they're like, "Ah, typical Micah. Just, you know, nodding off on the cold stones again." That's such a Micah thing to do. Should we look? No. He gets so mad. He's grumpy for the rest of the day if we wake him. So this is daunting because releasing them usually causes a lot of mayhem. But you have to make sure that they don't look in your direction like the one clicker does right now, because then they obviously will attack you. And clicker attacks are, you know, they're my weakness in this playthrough. I think I died a lot more from clickers than from anything else. Well, Seraphites and clickers. Oh, and stalkers, that one Abby scene. But I count that as one death, so...
How was that? I'll check it out.
So this was a very good strategy, because not only are they concentrated in the other direction, but also now they're concentrated on the Rattler. And don't mind me. I like how for a second she just stood there like, well, and then she's like, oh no, wait, wait. The way I did it though this time, it's not as effective, because if they follow you for a while and then you lose them, they walk into the house usually, and then they can get a few more people. Because that was it. And I had playthroughs for this chapter, a lot of them, where they would wander into the house and then just cause so much havoc, saving me a lot of trouble. I don't know what it is. I'm glad I don't burp. I just have everything. I have all the symptoms of a burp, but I don't have the burp. Oh! Got surprised again! Oh my god. I'm seeing it for the first time. That's a good thing when you're old. You're very forgetful.
Think it came from over there.
Can't believe he doesn't see me there. I'm so in the open.
Hey, over there.
The gameplay for The Last of Us is amazing though. Even I, as a noob, really enjoy playing it because the movement is so sleek. It's so smooth. Like, it feels really good playing this, and it's really fun. There's nothing that you have to do that's super awkward or difficult or where you cramp. Because I played a few games where I really cramp up. I mean, of course, if you do a whole, like the Rat King, you'll be more excited and play and press and do stuff more. And then maybe you cramp up as well because you're so tense. But not because the buttons and the controller itself is wired weirdly for the movements. So let's imagine I'm in this world and I survived. I recently thought maybe the skill I would try to master is climbing, like staying hidden, not engaging in interactions, being able to climb on trees, onto buildings, having the equipment also for that. Because I think that way you could just avoid a lot of situations like this. You know, just climb on the houses and walk on the, why can't I think of the word, on the roofs. Yeah, this is a very boring section because it took me a while. Like, I usually have to wait. I don't like I don't like waltzing into fights. You might have noticed that if you know one who watches this. I love to wait and then pick them up one by one, which is a really bad tactic for Let's Plays, because it gets boring a lot. But when I play on my own, that's a cool thing, because I don't mind waiting a lot. Because going head on into a fight, it rattles me too much. It makes me, it's too exciting for me. That's why I'm so, not jealous, but I respect gamers like Gab Smolders so much, because she's really head on in situations. Also, she did the whole stealth thing in this, in The Last of Us Part 2 so much better than I ever wished I could do it. She's just really skillful, and I'm not. I'll make it up with spunk. But also, I think this is closest to how I would actually react. I mean, I wouldn't be there in the first place, but if I would hide a lot, I would wait so long. I would probably die waiting. Died from an arrow in the butt cheek. That's tragic. Don't want to do anything that disrupts the mic. Ugh. I'm waiting for games to start having
Right over there!
enemies that run away. I know I played games, or at least one game, I don't know which one, but I played games where people actually ran away, or where they begged for mercy and then they just cowered there and you could just leave them and they wouldn't, you know, attack you. Sorry, dude. Because I think it was either Tomb Raider or Uncharted, there was a scene, I think I mentioned that before, because that's really, it's a pet peeve of mine. Also in action movies, one of the reasons why I don't like watching action movies. Those people are usually paid, so they're mercenaries or something like that, you know? So they don't have any personal issues with the protagonist, but they still risk their lives to kill them. And even if they're in a burning building, instead of trying to get to safety, they will still come after the protagonist, which is, I think in real life, a lot more people would be like, fuck that. You know, it's not worth it. I just get out of here. And to have that in a game would also be fun, because they're always like, so, oh, we have to make it more realistic, that they're smart, that they detect you, that they see you, that they look around, that they don't have the same walking patterns and stuff like that. But they're never like, oh, they have to be more realistic, that they actually are scared. Because that's a thing. People get scared, you know. Or people decide it's not worth it.
Right in here!
Or in sections where you have a common enemy, like the infected, where they work together. And then afterwards it can be like, okay, we're back to our bullshit, but that would be really fun. I know it would probably daunting for the AI component of it, the artificial intelligence thing, where you have to create smart enemies, and the more things they have to decide on their own, the more difficult it is. But it really would be quite fun. And a change for a change.
Got her! In here!
Must be weird doing voice recordings for stuff like that.
Try.
Didn't I just kill her twin? They all look the same.
Anybody else?
It's a colony of dangerous criminal twins.
Come on. Don't stop now.
Well, you should, Ellie. Honestly. Again, my beloved blade. The sound was from the runner. It's also in the section that it always signals as someone's close to you, but it's usually the runner or the clickers. So there are several reasons why you should either let them free or kill them so they don't interfere with your game. I think in general it will be interesting how the gaming industry will develop when it comes to smart enemies. Because at some point, if they're too smart, you know, only a certain type of people will enjoy that. So maybe at some point you will have, instead of normal, easy and difficult stuff like smart enemies and programmed enemies. Which will be like, you know, easy and difficult. Jenny, sending along some extra beef, grapefruit and potatoes I just got. They've been impressed with how many strays I've captured and wanted to reward me. We're seeing the best crop we've had since we settled here. Please make sure my mom gets fatty cuts. She looked too skinny last time I saw her, Pat. Fuck you, Pat. You're a slaver. I don't get it. Why would you be like, okay, I have two choices. I either start growing potatoes, you know, which is a little bit hard but also very rewarding, and it's not very dangerous, or I start to capture and enslave people and put them in work camps and shoot them if they don't obey me. Like, what? Is that really the easier choice? I would think that it's easier to learn how to grow stuff and just do that as a group, because there's so many of them, you know. They could easily they don't even need workforces. We just killed, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 people in the last couple of 30 minutes. That would have been, you know, enough people to have good crops. I really don't get it. And also from an economic perspective, motivated people are more productive. That's just how it is. That's really what it is. Happy workers do better work. I mean, that is the most important thing. You know, the most important thing would be to treat your workers correctly. And not have, like, weird hierarchies, you know, where some have to work and then get caged and others don't. But still, if you want to go by the economic aspect, then it's also wrong, you know? It's all not. It's a weird, twisted, shitty system to do that. Damn, missed that.
Heard something. I'll look into it.
Yeah, that's weird. I played this part 3 times or so, and he clipped out every single time. So that's a total. That's not just a one-time thing. That's a legit bug in this specific scene. That's why I didn't even get nervous when he clipped away, because I've been through that a few times. So I knew he was still there. He didn't transport somewhere else. I don't know how she can crouch with that wound. Also, this guy, I think we killed 3 or 4 of this guy. But given the crunch topic for Naughty Dog, I don't fault them. Like, they don't have to make all of those 1,000 enemies individually appealing. I think that's the thing that AI probably can do in a couple of years. You know, that you have like Sims-like properties, and then the game itself generates different shirts, you know, and skin colors and hairstyles and stuff like that, so you have more diverse characters, and not that it might be even improbable that you will see the same character twice if you give enough choices.
Todd! Move up! Watch out!
Sorry, Todd. Was not your day. Your chances of survival are not too hot. I guess I gave you a warm welcome. Some people say I'm a little fiery.
Oh, sir. Where are these fucking prisoners?
Also that she doesn't even care about, you know, liberating those people. I mean, her moral she's a villain. She's a 100% villain of this game. She's not she's the antagonist of this game. And I want to know whether everyone who plays this sees it like that, because for me it's very obvious, you know, like there are people imprisoned in work camps and the main goal should be free those people, liberate them. But her goal is just, oh, I hope Abby survived so I can kill her. Who does that? That's so odd. In a world like this also. I mean, everyone's dying in this world, everyone's endangered, and then you do this kind of bullshit. But alone, leaving Dina and JJ, I know she thinks that will make her healthy. I know deep down she thinks, okay, if I do this, then I get healthy in my headspace, and then I can go back to Dina and JJ and be a better person for them. But I think the actual solution for a problem would have been not leaving Jackson, staying in Jackson, even though it hurts, talking to people who can help her with her mental issues and maybe with others who grieve, you know, to work through the grief, not push it down or turn it into violence, and stay with Dina and JJ. But yeah, well, I'm not Ellie, so, you know.
Abby. She's bit.
Keep back!
Hey, don't put that fucking thing in me.
Hey! Abby tried to escape. She's down in the pillars.
The pillars?
Head down to the beach. You won't miss it. She's probably already dead. Come on!
Also, look at all the small details with her. Props to Ashley Johnson and all the character designers for Ellie. That she was so still looking at everyone until they left completely, just in case someone attacked her. Like, she's completely... What is it? The lizard brain? She's just full on lizard brain. If that is an actual thing. I don't know. Some of those psychological things are so bullshit, so... But that's basically her. Like, she can't... I don't think she even got that she just saved those people. You know? I think she's just like, where's Abby? Where's Abby? I have to do this before I die. It's like mania. It's really... I can only shake my head. Also, how beautiful does this look? This is so atmospheric. Oh, now they're raising hell. I made it easy for them. Like, how many can be left? Like 2? I killed so many people of the Rattlers. Yeah, I would love to know whether they were police or just randos who found police equipment. But it is not impossible that they were police. Because I don't think in a situation like this, police or military would be the worst to lead. Because they're capable of, you know, attacking, but not really of you know, managing people. You need a certain, like, of de-escalation, of creating structures. I mean, that's why you have the divisions of, you know, politics and law and police in an ideal situation. Because it's different things that you have to do. I think The Walking Dead, Fear of the Walking Dead, even though that show it's not as good as The Walking Dead, and even The Walking Dead is not, you know, super great. But their take on the military was quite, I think, very cool and a good idea. That things got out of hand very soon if there were no real rules anymore. Also, this here, the pillars, if you do this type of shit, no matter who you do it to, like how evil those people are, you're evil. That's it, full stop, you're evil. If you do this, if this is what you think is necessary to do to anyone, you're evil. I look at that. I can't really believe, like, it's... And this is not, you know, just the game. There's actual things, actual societies, actually groups of people. I mean, Guantanamo Bay and stuff, like, torture is a thing in pretty much every society. Oh, look, it's left. Oh, Jesus. It's a kid. You know, they put a kid on there. Evil. It's not Abby. They did that on purpose. So you would think it's Abby with the... Is it ponytail? It's so sad what they did to her. She's so skinny. That's the most shocking thing, I think, because Abby made herself strong. That was part of her. Like, that was part of her personality. She decided to be strong physically, so she could be strong emotionally. And they also cut her hair. Like Samson, they took her strength. I don't know if you know the myth, but it's like Samson was a hero and he got his strength through his hair. And when it was cut, he lost his strength.
I got you.
It's kind of that with Abby. And I wonder whether she had that ponytail. Is it that? I don't know. That braid, yeah. Because maybe her father at one point said that he liked it. The first time I played this through, I really cried when I saw her. Because it was so sad. What the torture had done to her. Like physically. And you could only imagine what it had done to her emotionally. Yeah, Ellie, I don't really feel bad for you, though, because you put yourself in that situation, so it's... No.
I can't let you leave.
Oh, you can, Ellie. It's easy.
I'm not doing this. No. I'm not gonna fight you. Yes, you will.
Oh, fuck you!
He's not a part of this. You made him a part of this.
Well, you made Dina a part of this. You made Jesse a part of this, Ellie. So you better shut your mouth.
Okay.
She has to deal with that later on. If she survives this, she has to deal with the fact that she did this. What's really smart about this fight is, at a certain point, I was unsure whether I was playing as Abby or Ellie. And I think that was by design. I'm a little bit disappointed that it never really switches. It's just you think it might. Because that would have been interesting as well if you suddenly were Abby again. But in the end, it's kind of Ellie's story. So... I wonder if you can die in this scene. I never did, but there's blood on the screen, so maybe you can. Oh, but now it's gone. They don't give you a choice. You have to do it. Otherwise she gets up and attacks you again.
Just take him.
I mean, how will she ever get through this? She's broken. She broke herself. Like, that's why I think if there is a third part, and I actually would like to have a third part, because the world is so interesting. The whole setting is so great, and it invites us to discover more stories, explore other people, explore other areas, you know, other stories. But with Ellie, it should be done because she can't fight. The only thing I could imagine is for her to be an antagonist, to be quite honest, because the way she's broken now, she really can't be put in any position anymore where she has to kill. Yeah, of course Dina is gone. Come on, a single mother on her own, on a farm, out of nowhere. No way in hell would she stay there. She moved with her parents. I hope they took the animals. And she probably moved back to Jackson. I thought it was dangerous in the first place to live there with 2 people and a baby. And a bebe. Because when something happens, you know, for example, a health issue with a bebe, or with one of them, it's so far away from, I mean, I don't know how far away it is from Jackson. I mean, Tommy came with a horse, so maybe it's not too far away, but we don't know how long he was on the journey, on his way. But it seems long enough that, for example, when Jesse's mom wrote Dina, that she said she's not yet healthy enough to visit them, so it's probably not too close. So I think it's super dangerous. It's hazardous to have a kid isolated somewhere. Oh, all her stuff. That's a baller move from Dina. But that's how she is. We saw her with Jesse after she broke up with Jesse. Man, she can be cold. Super cold. I wonder whether this is a record from Troy Baker's band, because I know he's from Austin and he had a band. A little super small Easter egg. I don't know. It's gone. Can't play it anymore properly. And that's her fault. She lost that connection.
What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Where'd you get that?
Those people that came through last week.
Oh.
A little embarrassed as to what I had to trade to get it, but it's not bad.
I had Seth under control.
Yeah, I know.
And you need to stop harassing Jesse about my patrols.
Okay. Dina. Is she your girlfriend?
No. No, that was just one kiss. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know why she did that.
But you do like her.
So stupid.
Look, I have no idea what that girl's intentions are, but But I do know that she would be lucky to have you.
You're such an asshole.
I'm not trying to.
I was supposed to die in that hospital. My life would have fucking mattered. But you took that from me.
If somehow the Lord gave me a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again.
Yeah. I don't think I can ever forgive you for that. But I would like to try.
I'd like that.
Okay. I'll see you around.
That's what the movie night was about. When she was with Dina on patrol on that first day that we played, she said she wanted to watch a movie with Joel. That was the first step of reconciliation. So I wonder whether without this conversation she would have went on the same revenge path, because before that conversation she was really mad at Joel and she was so disappointed in him, and his death would have hurt, but it's still, there would have been a kind of like a gap between her and Joel. But with that conversation there was a way forward, something to make amends, to get back to him, because she clearly loves him and he clearly loves her, and she knows that he did this because he loves her, and of course he also hurt her a lot because he didn't ask her. She didn't ask for it. She didn't want him to do what he did. So that was, you know, the breach in trust, so that he also never told her the truth. But because they had a conversation, maybe she had something to look forward again, because he took her chance of having a meaningful life, and maybe that was something where she thought, okay, this is a goal, this is something, you know, to find that we had, that relationship, to save that. And when he got killed by Abby took that. She didn't just take Joel. And maybe Ellie would have been fine if she, you know, would have just killed Joel. But she took the chance of ever forgiving Joel. And I think that's why it hit so hard with her, why it was so hard for her to do anything else but go after Abby. That's my theory. I don't know whether that's true. So yeah, that was the Last of Us Part 2. I hope this recording makes it. I will flip my shit if it doesn't. I love this game. I think it has its weaknesses, but for a 20 to 30 hour game, I think that's a given. It's a little bit too long, I think. With the order, I explained that before. I think didn't have the emotional impact it could have. And I think some of the messages or some of the things Naughty Dog did to have a message were not as successful as probably intended. But I think this game, it hit me emotionally very much. Sorry that I didn't cry that often. I cried before in other playthroughs, but because I had to play through this 1,000 times, at a certain point you're like, okay, I've seen this scene 3 times today, so, you know, you missed all the tears. Honestly, I had them. They were all there. But you missed them, I'm sorry. I'll try, maybe I still have them somewhere in the trash bin. On my Mac, maybe I cut them in, so you see I'm not lying. Or maybe I don't. Who wants to see that? Anyways, I think the emotional impact this game had on me, but also on a lot of other people, is quite something for a game. I remember when I first played through, and after Joel's killing scene, and I wasn't even the biggest fan of Joel, to be quite honest. I think he's a villain, and I think he's kind of a dick. So it wasn't like I thought, oh, this is the hero, and now he gets killed. And I didn't even expect to play as Joel all the time, because I thought, well, it would be boring, you know, to play as Joel. So it didn't hit me as hard, but I still had a few days where I was really in a bad mood, because I kind of was emotionally invested so much that it put me in a bad mood. It was like a loss on a very high level scale, of course, you know, so it wasn't a big loss, it was a very small loss, but it still felt like a weird loss. And that is weird, because this is fiction, these characters don't exist. And I'm always astounded when fiction can do that, when art can do that. And Naughty Dog did it very well, I think. Sorry, damn, now suddenly I'm like, I don't want to say gassy, that always sounds like I'm farting the night away. So on that account, I think this is such a great franchise. Not just the emotional impact, but I think the world building is just absolutely phenomenal. Starting with the whole concept of the infected, which is very unique, but also starting with, but also concerning all the letters and notes you find. They all tell amazing stories. They're so well written and so thought through that they're all interesting. Like there's hardly anything where you're like, well, nah, I didn't need to see that. Everything tells something, and even the rooms and the environments, everything has this depth of backstory, and you know, that creates a more detailed world as you go along. So you want to stay longer, and that's why I want to have a third part and get to know more characters. Yeah, on that account, it's such an amazing game. I talked about the gameplay already. I really love it. I really enjoy it. I think where the game misses a little bit is the length, the depiction of violence, but at the same time wanting to criticize violence. I don't think it managed to balance that very well. So maybe I do a review of this game. Don't know how to do that though. This is such a big game. This is so complex. There's so many things, you know. I don't know how to do a review that isn't like 6 hours long. But yeah, it had its issues. It had a few flaws. Some were worse than others. But in general, I still think it's one of the best games of this year, but also in general. And I think what it did manage, and that's a feat, it's not a carbon copy of the first game. There are so many different things, and I don't mean just gameplay and characters, but also how it feels to play it. And I think they wanted that. They said the first game is about hope and love, I think, and the second game is about revenge and love, I guess. And it feels like that. It has a completely different mood. I mean, with the exception when you play as Abby, of course you're playing for hope and love again. But as Ellie, it's very weird. But also the way the game plays and everything, it's very different from the first one, and I really applaud that. Maybe not every single change worked just as well, but all in all, I think this is an amazing game, and I can't wait to see what Naughty Dog does next. I would love to have Naughty Dog do this kind of game, but without killing people, without even making it possible to kill them. That would be cool. And you could even do that with The Last of Us. You could say, I have it because, you know, you play as Ellie, and she kills, and you can't do anything about it. She kills Nora, you can't change that. She punches Abby, she forces her to fight, and you can't do anything about it. As Joel, you had to kill the doctor, can't do anything about it. So why not have for the third part a character, at least for a part of the game, that whenever you can shoot and kill infected, but whenever you aim your gun at a human enemy, the character will not do it. So you are forced. The game forces you to have non-violent ways or non-killing ways of, you know, getting through the chapter, getting through the story. I think Naughty Dog could pull it off. And that would be a statement, for example, to be like, yeah, this character doesn't kill people. It's their choice, you know. And because they have this linear storytelling, it makes sense. You can't even complain about it, because it's kind of the thing with Naughty Dog games, that at certain points you can't choose them. There's one ending, there's one story, and you experience it differently, but it is the same for everyone. So that would be cool. But that a girl can only dream. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this. No one who watches this, because this Let's Play is really... I think no one watched this. So we'll see, maybe if you watch this in the year 2028, you know, first person who watches this through manages to get through this, that you kind of enjoyed this. Like and comment if you want to subscribe. I would be very happy about that. And take care. Have a wonderful day. Auf Wiedersehen. And bye, bye, bye.